Well, my name is Lovell.
And my name is Paris.
And we are Novel Culture.
Novel Culture.
And welcome to the Culture Van.
So here's the entrance to our home. We have our mirror. Mirror is definitely important for us because Lovell, he's a fashionista. And me, I am a fitness coach, so I like to look at myself in the mirror. You know, I like to flex and stuff like that. We have our lounge area. This is also where we do our work, where we also eat. Then we also have our travel and hustles because we have a podcast that we're doing. So this is also where we do our travel and hustles podcast. And then we have our projector as well. We're currently still in the process of getting that correctly done. So we have our shelf, which we keep our incense and our little sage. I'm just now getting into that, not really. Then we have another camera right here. This is our camera that we have for Rosie because she be doing things while we're not here, so we're able to monitor her and see what she's doing. And then we have this Lovell and Paris sign because my sister, she went to South Korea or North Korea, and then she got this done there. This picture right here, we took in San Francisco. Then right here, we were on a road trip. This is when we first got Rosie. She was like 2 months. And then right here, yeah, so we went to Charleston, South Carolina. And we went to the Slave Mart. We really wanted to see what the Slave Mart Museum was about and how it looked and stuff like that. So this is the Oakland Bay Bridge that we were at. It was like an early morning. We wanted to take a picture. You know, we had just like paid off all of our debt or something like that. And so we were just feeling really good. And, you know, we dressed up and was, you know, feeling good. And then right here we have our Weeboos, which basically supposed to amplify our cellular service. I actually don't believe it does. And then this is our Pep Wave. We get really good strong Wi-Fi. Like this Wi-Fi, I feel like I'm in a home. I don't even feel like I'm like in a van. It's amazing. Just come in here, flick the laptop open, and the Wi-Fi's working. Then we have our fire extinguisher. This definitely comes in handy because we've had a couple leaks and you know the flame get big and stuff, but we haven't had to use it, luckily. So right here we have a water system set up in here, so we storage our water hose in here. And also this is another way that we're able to get our dishes as well. Like say for instance, if we're like at a picnic or something or out at a camp yard, we can easily like let this down right here, grab our dishes real quick. So it's just like another compartment to access this. So this is Lovell's shoe bin, and then this is also my shoe bin. This is basically all the shoes that we have with us. Yeah, and then these 2 lights that we have on the side, these are just for decoration to make it look real pretty when we're doing work. These lights really help Lovell get into the mood of like working out and stuff like that, and I like using them for my videos.
What attracted me to van life was the fact, I mean, looking back to the early spring of 2017, I was mainly looking at van life videos, and it wasn't like, oh, ooh, look at van life. It was, hey, we got to move out of this apartment, and I don't think we're going to get another apartment. So we had the van already. It was a white, low roof, 2012 Nissan NV 2500. For a computer repair business that had not been successful. We knew that people moved in them, but we didn't really embrace that. We just looked online and saw people were doing amazing things with vans and said, you know, we can do that. I also found that there were other things associated with it that, aligned with me a little bit, you know, freedom.
The main thing was financial problems.
Yeah, we were in $50,000 in consumer debt, car loans, personal loans, credit card debt, paying off debt, financial independence. We were able to live on a much smaller scale, and you know, we were able to stack that bread and pay off that debt, you know?
Yeah. This right here is our cabinet, our closet. This is where we keep all of our clothes that basically you hang and you don't want to fold up. So right here we have our ironing board. We had this in our last van, so this is going on like 4 years strong with this ironing board. This is important for Lovell because he irons almost everything. So down here is our little pantry. This is where we keep all of our washing things. Also Rosie stuff down here. We have a little pantry down here. And then right here we have our bathroom where we keep like our hygiene for our teeth, hair. You know, we have to keep our first aid because it's important, because we're always like getting nicked or something with like different areas in the van that are sharp. Then we also have our, well, not ours, this is mainly my hair stuff and my vitamins and BCAAs. So right here is our stove. This is our 2-stove burner, which is hooked up to our propane. We have a 1-gallon propane tank. And then we also have our air fryer. This air fryer has been a lifesaver when we don't have propane. Okay, so here is our sink. This sink is hooked up to our 25-gallon clear water tank. And then we also drain the tank with our gray water that is underneath this counter. So in here we have our cabinets where we keep our food as well, our seasonings, and also our powders, oatmeal, and all that good stuff. Okay, so in here is our fridge. It was important for us to be able to tuck our fridge away so that we're able to have more space. We have our Alpi Cool T60. We have a refrigerator and a fridge. In our last van, we had this in there for maybe a year, but we would just use a cooler or just get food that could easily be stored in a pantry or something like that. So we have an air conditioner, a Coleman Mach. And this air conditioner came with the van, so we didn't have to buy one, but Lovell has often had to fix it and like fiddle with it and everything. This air conditioner was definitely important for us because in our last van it got extremely hot in there and it was not fun at all. So this air conditioner has come in handy for this humid weather in Atlanta. So right here is our shower once again. This is our shower curtain that we just connect to all of these magnets. In here we have our clock. You know, we have to know what time it is because, you know, we sit on the toilet for a while to just enjoy the toilet. We don't have any like fancy toilet. It's just a bucket and a lid. One of my pros is we don't have to pay rent. Like, we get to keep all that money in our pocket and also live in a really good neighborhood. Like, when we were in San Francisco, we were living in the Marina District, and listening to the ships come in, the loud horns, hearing all the ducks, like, that was like my favorite part of living in San Francisco, especially being prior military. I love that sound. In this period in our life, after 5 years of doing van life, I can't think of one con.
Really, our only problem was the lack of comfortability in the other van. It wasn't, couldn't work in it. The power, it just, what, really, you couldn't live. We made it work for 4 years, but you're not running a business out of that. You're not doing anything out of that except for sleeping. With the freedom and all the space, I mean, it's not a schoolie, but it's dang near a schoolie. But it fits great in parking spot. So it's been really comfortable and really low stress. We got the camera system. We can see outside. Somebody knocks on the door, we know. And I'm getting a PA system installed right there so that we can, you know, look at the cameras and talk to people. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I want a GMRS radio and I want a PA system. So around the van, like Paris said, we have Rosie Cam, which is right here, which you can see. That's the Rosie Cam. That's Rosie right there looking out the front seat. So we can see this is the police and vandalism cam. This one's recording audio at the driver's seat, just in case, you know, you never know. Then we have our 2 cameras on the side, and then our rear camera's not working, but we do have a backup camera, which is the same type of camera that when we put it in reverse, we can see back there. The security system, it's uploading to the cloud, so if anything were to happen, we can send a link to a loved one and they could see live and hear as well what's going on. This is the generator control. We have a Cummins Onan 7.5 kilowatt diesel generator. Both the diesel generator and the heater is attached to the 23-gallon tank that we have. This right here was a pain It's our 8-gain switch panel. This is the control for the solar charge controller. Also, the heater is ducted around here. It's not like a traditional ducted, but it gets cold over there and stays warm over here, which is good, but it's too cold over there when it's cold, so it's ducted around. There's like a switch that allows you to choose shore power. We do have shore power back there. We've never used it, but we have the 2 solar panels up there, the Renogy 60 amp charger that connects to the battery, and then the generator. Between those 3, we can keep our batteries above 13 volts at least. There's 120 outlets all around. The only access to the inverter is through an extension cable that we run all the way around and over there into the office. That concludes our electrical system. So we have a skylight. I really wanted a skylight. I saw a lot of people in Vanlife doing the skylight, but they were very expensive. The Hecky Mini, very expensive. So this is, I think it's 24 by 36 with a 1/4 inch plexiglass. It could use some work, but for my first skylight, I think it did pretty good. And it's nice to wake up to the sun or to the stars or wherever. So this is the Max Air Fan Deluxe. Important thing was to get the Deluxe because it has the sensor if it rains. Actually, beyond the sensor, it has the rain cover. Our last van, before we even got it installed, it had rained that night, and then we never got the fan vent working because it had rained and messed up the circuit. So we just had a hole in the roof and a paperweight. But now we have the Deluxe, and it's nice to turn it on, get some air. Okay, so here's Paris's. This is her junk side, you know. Just to throw this book in here, Paris is in this book called She Explores. When we were early in our van life, a lady named Gail approached her and got her story, and it was really cool. This is the first book that Paris was in. This is all her clothes, not looking as organized as mine. On my side, I keep my pants here, like t-shirts there. I used to keep nicer clothes in here, but since it's not so nice, we built the wardrobe. This is all just like pajamas and things that I would throw on, underwear, socks. This is the first bed, the first van where I was able to, I'm 6'3", and this is the first van where I was able to completely stretch out, because all the other vans were like Jimmy rigged, like to the T, like there was no way. So there was not gonna be a compromise this time. We got the 170 extended, so we were getting the full, you know, I can do this. Like, this is unheard of, you know what I mean? But I really enjoy that about this van. If you want to get in van life and you're scared, don't be. Because everybody's scared. I mean, you're going to have anxiety. Everything is a learning curve. Everything is hard. So van life is not something to twiddle your fingers about. The earlier you get into it, the better you get what you're looking for out of it. Or you determine that it's not for you and you can move on with your life. If you keep pushing it, you're going to be older, and we hear it a lot. I wish I was able to do that when I was your age. Or, oh, you know, don't wait. No point in waiting. There's nothing you need to wait for. You gotta just do it. It's not gonna be a good time. There's no best time. You gotta just jump into it. Get a vehicle. If you have a van, preferably minivan or SUV, jump into it.
One thing I would have wished I known is not to think that I was gonna live the life that I saw on YouTube. Don't have unrealistic expectations. Just have that tunnel vision on what was your why, and that's going to get you through van life. Whether you wanted to travel, pay off debt, or just live in a van, you just got to have that tunnel vision, because it's going to be some scary days.
All right, so here's the cab. I upgraded the speakers in here. One thing about Sprinters, I was really hoping that Sprinters sounded good because they are German, but no, terrible. So I upgraded the 5 1/4 for 6 1/2. I had to do a whole lot of modification on both sides. We have the bass knob for the sub. What really helps with Sprinters, you really can't fix it by yourself. It's not, you got to take it to a mechanic. But what does help is this blue driver OBD2 reader, and I connect it to my phone. I can clear the codes, I can do basic diagnostics. Here is the aux beam 8-gang situation here, switch panel. This one is more like a knockoff S-Pod that the really expensive vans have, and it controls the light bar, the ditch lights. We have 2 types of headlights up front. We have a flood kind of driving light, which is SAE compatible, so we can have it on when we're on the freeway. All the other lights are legal to have on the freeway. So here's the Extron's 10-inch screen. It has HUDP, which is very important. You'd be surprised what doesn't have HUDP, so you can play your music. That's very important on the road. I don't want to have to deal with aux cables or anything like that. So it also connects to the internet. Audio is very important to me, so I spend a lot of time in here getting the radio and the head unit and the speakers all set up. Welcome to the very large booty of the 170 extended culture van. It's still a work in progress, but this is the 7.5 kilowatt generator, Cummins diesel. We had 2 scooters, but one of them kind of broke up, but it goes 25 miles an hour. It's like our escape vehicle. If we ever need to leave the van, we could take that. We got boxing gear, tools, tennis gear, our backpacks, equipment, podcast equipment. I got my Paris entered me into a contest with Diversified Van Life. I got these Quest 4Ds. I use these all the time, love them. This ladder is a 12.5-foot telescoping ladder. It's really, I really wanted to get the Illuminess, side ladder, but they're taxing on all that stuff. Haven't really splurged on anything yet. This hot water heater, 5-gallon hot water heater. At first it was a couple hoses, but I had to redo it, so I just used 1/2-inch PEX with some shark bite fittings. I really like those really nice expedition vehicles where they have like the spigot back here and they could rust their bikes off, so I wanted to use this because this kind of was just sitting around, so I could take that off, screw it in, wash my dog. If we were in the wilderness, or somewhere, we can wash stuff off. All the cameras are night vision. That backup camera makes it a total of 9 cameras around and inside. Early in our van life, we had a lot of encounters with police, and then a lot of times we were pretty powerless, and video and audio is your #1 best friend. No, you can be nice, but ultimately it's not our streets, so we have to protect ourselves with these cameras and our attitude, so that's why we have so much. I mean, I haven't seen 9 cameras on the van, so that was really important. What's up, y'all? How's it going? My name is Lovell.
And my name is Paris.
And we are Novel Culture.
Novel Culture.
So, if you want to see more from us, hit our YouTube channel and also our website where you can find the Traveling Hustlers podcast, www.novelculture.com or www.travelinghustlers.com without the G at the end. There's no G, it's Traveling Hustlers. So, I have a business. It's called the Level Up Life Branding Agency. It's a branding agency to tell the story of your brand to the people in your community. And then Paris is Strong Woman of the Year.
Yeah, so I have my fitness business, I'm trying to get these girls in shape. And my YouTube channel is called Paris Lee Rose, where I show my fitness videos and also show a little bit about the van.
Appreciate you tuning into our tour. Subscribe to Tiny Home Tours and also to Novel Culture if you would like. And we really appreciate you watching our tour, and stay tuned to all the other wonderful tours that Tiny Home Tours have got coming your way.